All your favorite wrestling shows rolled into one. Welcome to the We Book It podcast. Let's start the show.
Yo, what's going on? Book It family, my bad. I was backstage. Your boy is back. The lemon pepper stepper himself is back. Sorry, I've been on a miniature hiatus. I know you probably was expecting the show to kick off right after SmackDown, but I had to go to work last night. So without further ado, I went to work last night and we back today. And it's me, Teddy, Lemon Pepper Step along with the SmackDown, Lowdown, Hold Down, Toe Down, Whoa Now. Now, let's go ahead and jump into the SmackDown recap from last night. We had a lot of segments and maybe we had 5 matches all on the card last night, and everything outside of wrestling was all backstage segments. So we're going to try and get through these the best I remember because I didn't recently watch it. I watched it last night. So we're going to jump into it right now. So we kick off the show with Cody and Nick Aldis questioning what Gunther is going to choose as his stipulation. And of course, Gunther being Gunther is stringing everybody along, making everybody wait to figure out what the stipulation is. But he goes in and says that we'll find out later on, because Cody's like, do we know anything? Nick is like, nah, of course not. But immediately after Cody and Nick Aldis talk, Cody runs into the Usos. They the twos and we the ones. But and backstage, Jimmy and Jay talk to Cody, and Jay tells Cody, hey, I'm winning the King of the Ring, and I'm coming for that belt you got. And with him telling him he's coming for that belt, Cody was like, if anybody deserves it, it's you. But basically telling Jey Uso to make sure that if you're coming for this title, that is your decision and nobody else's decision. So that's all the key segue points right now is if Jay is doing things on his own account or if he's doing it because Roman Reigns is telling him to do it. We all know what the thing is, but hey, we're going to go and act like Jey Uso is making his own shots and his own calls as he sees fit. Then we go into a Jade Cargill segment with Michin and B-Fab and the girls before the Queen of the Ring tournament. The first match of the night was Charlotte versus Sol Ruca, Lyra Valkyria, and Jade Cargill. Charlotte, me and you got beef. Because one thing you don't do is fuck with a black woman's wig. And the way you try to behead my girl Jade Cargill last night, I might want to throw hands at you. And I don't even put my hands on women. But what you did was wrong because I felt like Jade Cargill was actually going to win the match. But because Charlotte did that bullshit, and took my girl wig off, Charlotte ended up winning the Queen of the Ring first round match. I don't know who she set to face next week in the semifinals. Everything is one-on-one now versus it being a fatal 4-way. During the match, though, Tiffy Time decided to get herself involved. And with her getting herself involved, cost Jade Cargill the match. So in the next segment that we had backstage after the match, Tiffany Stratton's back there talking. And Michin and B-Fab roll up on Tiffany Stratton. But in comes the savior. And make sure you salute our president. Even though she's not champion, we going to salute her anyways, Miss Chelsea Green. She came through with the kendo stick. Had Tiffany's back. Chelsea has been trying to find a friend for the longest ever since Piper is gone. And since Alba has been released. It's just Chelsea Green. So she's tried Tiffany Stratton. She's tried Blake Monroe. But she made her way back to Tiffany Stratton and had Tiffany's back, which ends up resulting in us having a tag team match later on down in the show tonight or last night. I'm a little parched. My bad. But now we have literally all backstage segments on SmackDown. We had Jimmy and Jay talking about the King of the Ring tournament. In comes Jacob Fatu, and they're questioning like, "Why are you here, Jacob? The OTC already gave us the play. We about to run it. Jay got to do it on his own, but Jimmy is there just to have his back to make sure that he has some type of support." And Jacob Fatu tells him, "Hey, I'm here on orders of the tribal chief. That ain't got nothing to do with the King of the Ring match, but it got everything to do with Solo Sikoa. I'm here for Solo, not y'all. And y'all do what y'all do." So you already see the dissension in the fact of the bloodline where Jacob is only listening to Roman Reigns until Roman tells Jacob he got to listen to Jay and Jimmy. Then that's going to be a whole different clusterfuck of some shit, and I can't wait for that. So then we have another Nick Aldis Gunther moment. And in this moment, Gunther actually tells the stipulation for his match next week is going to be a special guest referee. But who the special guest referee is, we don't know yet because he isn't trying to give all those tidbits of who he wants to be the special guest referee for the match. So I'm honestly at that point, I was thinking it's going to be Paul Heyman or somebody along those lines that Gunther trusts to basically screw Cody Rhodes. But throughout the night, you'll find out who the person is, and I honestly feel like it's setting up a triple threat for either a Night of Champions or SummerSlam. But before we get there, then we have a Judgment Day reunion. R-Truth is still living in La La Land. He sees Finn Balor. Well, Finn Balor actually is stopped by Tama Tonga first. And people that don't know, Tama Tonga and Finn Balor have a history at New Japan Pro Wrestling with the Bullet Club. So we might get some Bullet Club reunions because you still have got a lot of New Japan Pro Wrestling in SmackDown, of course, with Shinsuke Nakamura and other people that are there. But first it was Tama and Finn, and then it was Finn bumping into Damian Priest. I mean, not Damian Priest, but R-Truth and R-Truth. Like, we got the crew back together, Mommy, DP, we got Judgment Day, we'll build a clubhouse. But, Damian Priest isn't trusting nobody right now except R-Truth. So I'm curious to see where the angles go with Finn now becoming a part of SmackDown and seeing where all they will place him in feuds or storylines and what they have going next. Next match, we have Nikki Bella and Paige versus Lady Reed and I think it's Fallon Henley. And that match was a good match. I'm ready for the tag titles to shift hands again just because I'm over the Bellas. All of them. I'd rather Paige go on a singles run for the U.S. title or for the women's title. I would love to see that versus her in tag team action. But until we get to that point, until Nikki Bella's back, we got to deal with what we got to deal with. But Nikki and Paige win that match, even with JC Jane trying to add some interference. They still ended up winning the match. So then we get, planking Johnny Gargano, like he is selling the hell out of this mesmerized role he's been in. He's been in this funk since Tommaso Ciampa has left, and that's been at least 2 or 3 months now, maybe even longer that he's been doing this. He hasn't wrestled really that much, but he is doing his job in this role with Sami Zayn because I feel like it's going to come to fruition what's going to happen. But with that segment, Sami tells that he's going to call out Cody Rhodes and he's going to talk to Cody in the ring. And then we go to our boy Danhausen. I'm mad that he's grown on me the way he has because I was not a fan of Danhausen at first, but he's very evil, very nice. And if you don't like it, you are cursed. But he's starting taking bribes because him and his curses are literally working in professional sports. I don't know how this is happening. I don't know what's going on. But you had Humberto and Angel Garza trying to bribe him for the Mexican national team in soccer, but also trying to curse the Knicks. Danhausen's like, I'm not cursing the Knicks. He's not going for that. Danhausen is not cursing the Knicks. That's one thing I know he's not going to do. But then also Kit Wilson comes in and with the Miz, and the Miz is still shocked. Kit Wilson tried to tear apart the setup, and now he's electrocuted. So I'm curious to see what's going to happen next week with them. Sami Zayn calls out Cody Rhodes, and they're going back and forth. He's going down memory lane and telling everybody what's going on with him, how he's the last real good guy, how he feels like he deserves certain things. But he made a point that, when Cody actually came out there, he made a point that everybody that came and congratulated Cody has all came for Cody and is wondering, is everybody else the issue, or is it Cody being the issue? So it's setting up a more heel turn, definitely for Sami Zayn, but it can also set up one for Cody Rhodes. I don't know how they will intertwine that and make that work, but I'm pretty sure they will. Then you have a segment with Jacob and Solo, and Solo just telling Jacob how disappointed he is and how he used to be this, he used to be that, and how you don't treat the people you love a certain way. But Solo fails to realize how he treated Jacob, quote unquote, when he loved Jacob, or how Jacob loved him, how he would put Jacob under his thumb. So really, it's just a shift in power of a real tribal chief and one that claimed to be the tribal chief. And like Jacob told Solo, he said, I made my choice and I made my decision, and I'm listening to Roman Reigns. And when Roman Reigns send me, I'm coming for you. So he told Solo, I'm coming for you. And if you don't want to, that's fine. Solo tells Jacob Fatu, like, hey, tell Roman to come for me himself, basically. So I see a Bloodline MFT reunion, gang up. It could be a whole thing where Roman gets everybody in the Bloodline under one, and everybody to fall in line, because we haven't had a united Bloodline front since Roman lost the title at was it WrestleMania 42? It was 41 or 42 that he lost the title to Cody Rhodes. But either way, you have that. Then we have Ray Phoenix defending the AAA light heavyweight championship on national television for the first time. I think there's only been the Mega Championship that's been contended for online. I mean, actually visibly on TV. So for them to do that for AAA has been, like, I honestly feel like has been such a great partnership with what WWE and Triple H have been able to put together. So with that, you have Ray Phoenix versus Axiom, which is a really good match because Ray Phoenix being a luchador, but Axiom is a Spaniard. He's from Spain, but it's interesting that he's a max wrestler from Spain that moves at the speed of a luchador. So I love seeing that, and that match actually cooked on SmackDown, which was really good. It really gave open US Championship Open title match. I mean, US Open Challenge vibes with how things went when Melo was the champion. So of course, and then after that match, Gunther announces Sami Zayn to be the special guest referee for his title match after Sami and Cody had an issue in the ring by smacking each other. Sami initiated it because he didn't like that Cody told him the truth. He said the truth hurts, and the truth hurts. So he smacked Cody, and Cody smacked him back and was like, are we done? Are we finished? Like, basically, what the fuck are we doing? We supposed to be boys. We supposed to be doing these things. But it's just setting up Sami for a heel turn. And honestly, if it ends up being a triple threat at Crown Jewel or Night of Champions, I'm perfectly fine with Sami winning it there, because that's, he's Islamic faith and Muslim faith. With him winning in Saudi Arabia would be a really good pool. Him in the States isn't going to get the draw that he would overseas. So then we have Trick Williams with Lil Yachty. And they're supposed to celebrate, but Trick Williams is saying he's mad because he actually lost the match. He doesn't care about anything, even though he is still the United States champion. He would have rather won the match than just have the reference of I'm just the United States champion. And as he's about to announce a challenger or what he's got next, in comes Ricky Saints. But then mid Ricky Saints intro, here comes Carmelo Hayes, and he walks right past him and was like, hey, pick one of us. You got to do something. I done beat him. You done beat him. We done beat each other. Pause. You know how that segment goes with with the Heartbreak Kid, Shawn Michaels. And John Cena and DX backstage, but ends up with Trick walking out the ring, Ricky Saints pushing Carmelo in the Trick, and then turns into a fight. Trick ends up getting the last laugh in the situation with hitting a bookend, and then I forgot what other move he hit. But after that, you have Royce Keys and Solo Sikoa. Like I told y'all, there's a lot of backstage segments. Royce Keys and Solo Sikoa, and Solo telling Royce, like, hey, you see what's forming, you see what's going on. I'm not forcing you into the MFTs, but just know we got your back. And it would be great if you join because it's going to be us versus the bloodline. And you see where Jacob lies, and now it's time for you basically to fall in line somewhere. So then we get to the Tiffany and Chelsea versus B-Fab and Michin. B-Fab and Michin get the win. Michin hit a Styles Clash on Chelsea Green. And 1, 2, 3. Then we have a segment with Cody and Nick Aldis, and Cody's like, "Are we really going through with this? With Sami being a thing, Sami's being a special guest referee. You know, Sami's going through a lot in his life. He's on this, he's on that. He got this, he got that. And Sami overhears it and basically, you know, has a little moment where it's like, is he going to do what's right when it comes to the match, or is he going to do what he feels is right personally for himself in the sense of getting what he wants?" And then we have the King of the Ring last match of the night, which is Jey Uso versus Finn Balor versus LA Knight versus Royce Keys. The pop Finn Balor got is setting up that he could be a main player on SmackDown. And I hope and pray that they give him the title. Really, he would look better with the world title just because he's a smaller guy and that title looked better on him. But him getting the WWE Undisputed title would culminate the Universal title reign that he had, and he's never gotten a chance back at it. Hopefully, we'll get more Demon Finn Balor, but just Finn Balor aura with the Balor Club, man, is chef's kiss. Fun moment. LA Knight comes to the ring, does his thing before the match even starts. LA Knight goes running back on Jey Uso and tries to do the LA Knight thing, and they play his music. Jey Uso gets pissed. The match overall was a good match. I see a lot of highlights for Finn Balor. He's a veteran, but with him being on SmackDown, like I said, is going to be a great look for him and getting things done. You had Jimmy Uso out there. You had Solo Sikoa come out there. They interfered in some things. Solo hit a spike. I think he hit it on LA Knight. Royce Keys hit that big spine buster that he has as a finisher. And he thought it was gonna be 1, 2, 3, but Jey Uso comes in with the splash, and then rolls up and gets the 1, 2, 3, and the Yeet Man advances in the King of the Ring tournament, and he will now face Javon Evans 1-on-1. So this SmackDown was backstage segment heavy. I just hate that some people had multiple spots backstage in the moments. Like Sami Zayn was featured a lot of times in this episode. Curious to see what creator's going to do, especially when they go to a 2-hour show coming up soon. But yeah, y'all let me know what y'all think. Drop it in the comments. Leave it on the page. Your thoughts of how you guys felt about SmackDown, what you rated, what you give it. And until then, and until the next time we get it together, the Booking family, y'all keep them booking pencils sharp. And y'all tune in Sunday. We got the Sunday Night Stunner. You know it's going to be everybody. We got Virgil. We got Big Daddy C. We got Tank. Fritos is still on hiatus right now. We got Coachman. We got AC Slayer. We got the Mac Militant. And you got me, the one and only Mr. Teddy Lemon Pepper Stepper. So this has been another great SmackDown, Lowdown, Hoedown, Toedown, Wowdown with your one and only. And until then, y'all keep them booking pencils sharp. Peace.